Hey, this is Adam.
And Matt.
And here's what's coming up on this week's CarCast. Do you get anything from Leno?
The only car that Jay has loaned to us so far is a steam car that was built in the early 70s in San Diego for a...
Oh, the thing that looks like a Vega or something?
Yeah, for an air quality management district project. And that he didn't want to put the effort and time into getting it running, you know how 1970s steam cars can be, and decided...
Well, remember.
It takes them 45 minutes to start one of those things anyway when they do run.
Yeah. Well, it's going to take about a few months to start this one. It needs a lot.
Yeah, that's the one. I don't know if it's silver or blue or something. There's one that looks like a Vega.
That's the one you're thinking of.
Listen for free through iTunes, the free Adam Carolla app, or visit acecarcast.com.
You're listening to the Ace Broadcasting Network.
Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison, with her good times never end. Alison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Alison's your new best friend.
Hey everyone, hi, hello, it's me, Alison Rosen, your new best friend, and welcome to an exciting episode of Alison Rosen is your new best friend. My guests today are YouTuber Shane Dawson. Hello, Shane.
Hello, very excited to have a friend.
Well, maybe it'll lead. Yeah, I know. It's a BFF. It's not just an F.
BFFL?
Is that what is the L? Oh my God, you know more about friendship than I do.
I mean, where do I start? Best friends for life.
Okay. Yeah. In my day, we just did forever, but you're taking it to a whole new hardcore place.
It's a real metaphysical thing, whether forever and for life are the same thing or different things.
And on the show today, we have Dustin Goot.
Hello.
Business school guy. Old friend of mine. I don't know how to see. He's a YouTuber. What are you?
That was the most underwhelming set of attributes to put after me. I know I did it to myself.
Guy who bikes a lot and has a whole biking outfit.
You could have just said old friend of the show, which I am.
Oh
I think
that's better. Let's do that again. YouTuber Shane Dawson and old friend of the show Dustin Goot.
You've ruined it already.
And then we have producer Gary.
What's up, everyone?
Hello. So, I want to tell you guys before we start that you can see all of this live at UCB Theater on May 24th. We are now doing live Alison Rosen is your new best friend podcasts. I don't know why I enjoy S's today. I just do. TS, really. STS is really what I like. And the guest will be Garfunkel and Oates. For more info, go to AlisonRosen.com. Okay, so YouTuber Shane Dawson.
Yes, by the way, BFL is actually less of a commitment than Best Friends Forever.
So you feel like life is going to be shorter than forever? Because forever is infinite?
Yeah. Forever, after you die, you're still best friends. I'm not that committed.
Right, you're just committed for one
Keeping your afterlife open.
Exactly.
I think that's wise.
I think it is as well. So let's talk about how you got to be... You have the 5th most subscribed channel on YouTube. Forbes said you're the 25th most famous web celebrity, or web celebrity, as some people would say. And I feel like you have a zillion other accolades.
Yes, I'm right under the fat black woman who falls on a table.
Are you really?
It's a very competitive market, this YouTube.
Who was number 1?
Oh, crap. I don't remember. Actually, I feel like it was Ashton Kutcher for some reason, because I guess he thinks he owns the internet for some reason. Right,
because of Twitter. And you have a zillion Twitter followers. Like, how did you become a quote-unquote YouTuber? And do you even use that term?
Yeah, I think it's a good term for what I do. I don't consider myself like filmmaker, actor,
auteur,
pioneer. No, I make YouTube videos, and I started just at a shitty job I hated. I'm allowed to cuss?
Yeah. Oh, please. Fuck yes.
Greatest part of the show.
Thank God. A fucking shitty, terrible job at Jenny Craig.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing it just during lunch breaks and on the side just to do something interesting, and then it kind of started.
And what was the first video you made?
First video I made was just some shitty video of me talking about my day, and I don't even think it's still on YouTube anymore. It was terrible. I don't know why people watch me. My first 25 videos were terrible. And my new ones are okay.
You're so self-effacing. In those first 25, were you doing the different characters?
No, I started doing characters later on. And in the beginning, I was just talking about my life. And people started commenting, this is really boring. So I started putting wigs on.
I see. So...
Well, I have a question. Coming back to what you are, I noticed Alison has gone with YouTuber versus YouTube celebrity, which I also hear. I wonder.
I don't have the time.
Well, true. But I wonder your feelings on. You're so self-effacing. I'm guessing you wouldn't call yourself a YouTube celebrity, but I'm sure people have called you that. How do you feel? What is your disposition towards that term?
Here's the way I look at it. More people know who Pauly Shore or like any random celebrity. More people know who that person is than people know who the #1 YouTuber in the world is. So like calling it a celebrity is, I don't know, kind of ridiculous.
But when did you notice that people were really starting to watch you and starting to relate to you?
Probably about 6 months into it. I started getting comments from all these kids who were saying that they had really shitty lives, and this was kind of taking them away for a few minutes. And I started thinking, wow, does this actually like affect people? Do they actually feel connected? And if so, that's cool. So I started doing more connective videos where I was talking directly to them and stuff like that.
Have you always been really honest in your videos?
Yeah, in real life too, I don't really have a filter, so I thought there wasn't many people on YouTube at the time that were saying whatever they felt and not censoring themselves, and I thought that was kind of a cool way to go.
Because I have to say, I was watching, I think it was High School Drama today, and there's just so much heart in what you're doing. It's really funny, but you're so vulnerable and open, and I imagine that is what people are connecting to.
Yeah. I think everybody that watches, I think everybody in general has things that they're sensitive about, and I talk about all of my problems, and I have a lot, so there's a lot to relate to, and I think they like that.
Mm-hmm. And you grew up in, that's a weird sound, Gary. Do you hear that?
Do you think it's my phone? Is my phone fucking things up?
I don't think it is.
Is it on silent? Because I keep hearing this digital cricket type thing every 90 seconds. You guys aren't hearing that?
We haven't been getting
Nobody
that.
ever calls me.
Okay.
But it was just like someone turned on beach sounds.
Yeah, that was
yes.
That was me. That was sorry. That was my mistake.
It was nice though.
Yeah, it was like time to go to bed on the show. the soothing background.
It was. Except okay, but would that really put you to sleep? Because those soothing background noise things to me actually just agitate me.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it's annoying because you hear this beautiful Hawaiian beach, and I'm laying in my shitty bedroom with all my animals, and I'm like, man, I really wish I was on a beach right now, and then I can't stop thinking about that.
You mean you don't live in a YouTube celebrity mansion?
That's what we're expecting.
With all the other YouTubers?
Yes.
Like the real world?
Oh, my God. Oh, I'm surprised that hasn't become a web reality series.
Well, I just see it as like an alternate universe. Like you live by not the real beach, but like the YouTube beach. It's like a sandbar on the LA River or something.
Oh my God! No, I think most YouTubers don't they never leave the house really, and they don't really do well with people because they're used to just talking to a computer. So I don't know how throwing them all in a house would do.
Oh, that's interesting. Are you an introvert?
No, I don't know. I love people.
But do you love them from behind your computer screen? Because I love them from behind an array of things such as a microphone or Twitter or a camera or, that's pretty much my main tools of bonding.
I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. I hate a lot of people, but don't get me started. But I don't know. I think it gets kind of depressing sometimes seeing all the comments and stuff and being like, man, I wish I could actually hear an audience telling me what they think of my stuff, once in a while.
You don't feel like you're getting an accurate read on what they think?
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean? It's like I put a video out and people say if they like it or not, but it'd be so much cooler to put a video out and hear an audience laugh at the certain...
Sounds like someone's fishing for an invitation to the live Alison Rosen.
Ooh.
Well, you're working on Okay, and done, yes, but you're working on a TV show, right?
Right now, a movie. So.
Oh, that's like a TV show, but longer and on a larger screen.
Yikes.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Well, I thought about TV and stuff, and I don't know. I think a movie is a lot more freedom. I can direct it and do what I want to do, and obviously it's going to be independent, low budget. I'm not trying to, get it to theaters right away, but I just want to try something longer and see what happens.
And what's it going to be about?
Honestly, I think it's going to be a horror. I'm the worst at that word. Horror?
Well, I say horror, but some people say horror. Like my
Horror.
dad would say horror. And he also says orange. And sometimes he says woulda for water. He's from Brooklyn originally. And he says donkey, which you've heard us talk. So you listen to the Adam Carolla show. I'm
Yeah.
sure you've heard this whole is it donkey or donkey thing.
Yes.
Because like 4 people in the universe say donkey, but they say it a lot. Dustin looks disgusted.
I'm
and
disgusted
dismayed.
by
I
that.
know. And you've met my dad.
Not even a debate.
Does he seem like someone who would
We,
say
we
donkey?
didn't talk about donkeys, though, or donkeys.
Donkey. I think the only thing I can think is that, well, people say monkey, not monkey.
But that's how you're
Yeah.
actually supposed to say monkey.
I know. It's really
Well, yeah,
curious.
but who made that up? Like, why can't you say monkey?
I mean, you could, but then we talk about you right as a coda to donkey. So, horror. You have trouble with that word.
Horror? Yeah, like a horror.
Yeah, it does trip off your tongue.
A horror comedy. Yeah, those are my 2 favorite genres, so I want to try to do something different and do something scary and funny, and hopefully it works.
Are you going to be doing all the different characters? And do you have a favorite? Oh my God, the questions are coming fast and furious. Do you have a favorite character that you do?
I mean, I have a couple favorites. I think right now it's probably either my Jewish character who's like a crazy aunt, or my Paris Hilton character who isn't anything like Paris Hilton. It's I've taken it to a whole new level. So those are probably my 2 favorites.
And when you set out to make a video, like what's the process? How long does it take? And I think it's interesting what you just said about how you don't really leave your house. And I imagine that's because you're editing a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I leave my house to write because it's there's a lot of distractions at home. So I was actually writing in the car in the parking lot for like 30 minutes, and I came up with some stuff.
And no one broke in while you were in there?
No one tried to kill me, which would have made for an interesting video. Or I go to like Denny's or some random restaurant and just take my laptop and look like a crazy person.
Because when you're home and you try to write, what happens?
I mean, there's always something. There's always... I live with my family, so there's always something going on. My mom, my brother, his fiancée are 25 billion animals. So there's always some kind of
Commotion
chaos.
or menagerie. What kind of animals?
3 dogs, 2 cats, and the dogs are all crippled or handicapped, or they have some form of disease that forces them to go to therapy. So there's always... I have really bad luck with animals. And they're loud.
Wait, did you adopt them broken?
Here's the problem. This is... Okay, you know how
Did
people
you
say...
open your heart to needy animals, or do you have animal Munchausen?
Well, okay, here's the problem. You know how people say never buy puppies at a puppy store?
Yes.
And you say, I know, that's terrible. Puppy mills are terrible. Well, I still did, and I still went to the puppy store because I wanted the certain puppy.
Right, and they're so cute,
fucking
and someone has to
adorable.
buy them.
Oh, and they're so sad in their little
I
cages.
know.
So I bought 3 from these puppy stores at different times, and each one is completely fucked up. And I have diseases and problems, and one was born half male, half female. They all have problems.
You have a hermaphrodite dog?
I think that's what's wrong with my golden retriever. My mom just thinks he's gay, but I think I see a hint of a penis there. I've looked. I've investigated.
What's her name?
Charlie. So I picked one of those, could be cute for a girl names.
Right, that's smart. Which gender does Charlie identify with?
I don't know. He's definitely a woman. He has a penis, but I think he's definitely a woman. Or is he a man? I don't know.
Wait, but he has external male dog. It's funny that this is the thing I'm really going to spend 20 minutes discussing. But Charlie has external male dog genitalia, is what you're saying?
Yes. I mean, nobody's ever really fished and looked into it. I have. And he's very hairy, but I feel like there's both. I feel like he's a woman. And I love him. Him, her. Sure, him.
Where's the female aspect of this dog coming from, though, other than just a vibe?
It seems like a vet could have cleared this up.
I know.
Would have.
And here's the thing: I'm sure a vet did, and I'm sure my mom knows about it, or what. I just don't.
You don't need to know.
don't need
You
to
love
know.
Charlie for the dog that she
Him or her
is.
Yes.
Sort of. That's interesting. Okay, so you had a bad experience with buying puppies from pet stores. Because I, too, have always wondered what the... I mean, I know why you shouldn't do that and you shouldn't give money to that industry and it's bad, and I've heard all that. But I always thought, well, but, really why? But now we know.
They're all
You get
broken.
fucked up dogs.
I know. And but then again, adopting a dog, there's a reason the dog is in the pound, right? It ripped somebody open, or it's missing an ear. So listen, all dogs are broken.
Yeah,
But
but
we
on
love
the
them.
health thing, you know that I did this story one
yes.
time researching the thoroughbred horse racing industry, and like thoroughbred or purebred is the same thing as inbred. It's just a polite way of putting it, or like a more acceptable way of putting it when it's this industry that you're trying to create businesses around, because no one would want to see like the Inbred Horse Racing Association.
I would.
Well, I would too, but
I would, too.
but really, that's what it means. It means that it's like a particular strain, meaning that everyone was descended from, from the same family or small set of families, and then the way they were kept pure is that those families were just bred together over and over and over. So dogs, horses, it's all that, and then eventually they break down because that.
Jeez.
Did you watch some kind of disgusting horse sex act?
I did.
Shane, this is to Shane.
Oh my god, I just got so excited. Have you guys ever heard of Mr. Hands?
No.
No.
Get ready.
What is that?
It's the guy who died because he had a horse fuck him on camera. How have you not seen? Really? You guys are the internet. You should know this.
I know. I don't know what to say
Well,
for
look it up.
myself. I'd rather not.
Well, he has sex with a horse, and it's terrifying. And then afterwards, like, sad music plays, and the subtitles say he died. And they made a documentary about all these horse fuckers who live in, I don't want to be stereotypical. I feel like it's
Appalachia?
somewhere like that.
Okay.
And but no, it's this really dramatic documentary about people who love horses that much.
Too much. He
And
died of internal injuries.
I think, I guess the horse dick just crushed his insides, not surprisingly.
Oh. What did he look like?
Actually, not.
No, the horse.
Oh,
Just
the
kidding.
horse. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Gary
God,
has
is
pulled
that
up a
him?
photo.
Yeah, there they are.
Is that pre-coital? Is that in their pre-coital position? Because the dog is like has its hooves resting on his shoulders.
Let me tell you from my experience
It is a handsome
witnessing
dog,
horses having
horse, I mean.
sex, there's no way that's clearly a doctored photo, because
Oh, wow.
a human couldn't hold up a horse
No.
like that.
No, that's not how they had sex.
In a mounting
It was
position.
5 guys that were holding this guy up and like spreading his legs, and then the horse just ran into him.
Oh, 5 guys?
Yeah.
What are they, like horse fucking
fuckers.
spotters?
Horse sex requires a lot of even horses having sex with each other. There was a team of like 3 or 4 to to help them mount and position them, and there's one on the shaft
Doing what?
to make sure that he doesn't miss.
Yeah.
It's the owner of the mare pays like $200,000 for the right to be for his or her animal to be inseminated. So they can't afford to have the horse miss, be
See-
sloppy about it.
Right. I would think if it's that expensive and brutal, why not just artificially inseminate?
Well, that was part of what this whole story was about. That part of it is long and complicated, not
Okay.
worth getting into.
I don't want to get into it then. Well, all I know is that if I were going to have sex and there were that many people trying to help guide the action, I would be scared. And I would get very dry. Which I imagine she must. Is there some kind of equestrian
to be
KY?
honest, the comfort of the mare is really not a guiding force in the
sexist
horse breeding industry.
This brings us right into a segment that I would like to do. It's a brand new segment, and Gary does not think it's a good idea, so I would like to solicit the opinion of my listeners after I do it. It's called, Hey, Go Fuck Yourself. And I think you can imagine what it's going to be about.
We really need a song if we're.
We really do. I know.
There's so much potential.
I know.
Where's Trap Dog with that?
Can we come up with some kind of Let's see. On the fly, can we come up with a song
I'm
to
trying
usher
to think
this
of an
in?
existing chorus that would work.
I know. Well, how
that
about I'll
cadence.
say hey, and then Gary, you say go, and
I
then
bet
Dustin,
he'd do
you
it
say
to Hey Hey You're the Monkeys. Because Hey Hey Go Fuck Yourself or something like that.
maybe. I feel like maybe we should just use that from now on. But in the meantime, I'll say hey, then Gary, you say go, and then Dustin, you say fuck, and then Shane, you say yourself. Okay.
Is there a rhythm, or is this just
just freestyle?
Okay.
Okay. Hey.
Go.
Fuck.
yourself?
Ooh, I like it. Okay. So, to the guy who left the shitty iTunes comment and then signed it with Mazel Tov, you anti-Semitic piece of shit, hey, go fuck yourself. And then also to the person who left the iTunes comment where you said that you had to shut off the episode, the Ricky Lindholm episode, because she and I were complaining about casting associates, that's in quotes, wanting our headshot and resume, and you couldn't even pick us out in a group at the zoo, which, first of all, why are we hanging out at the zoo trying to be recognized? You totally missed the point of what we were saying. I would never complain that someone at an audition is asking or would need my headshot or resume. What we were talking about was, for the longest time, you would bring your headshot and resume to an audition, and then you would hand it to them, and then they would say, oh no, we're paperless now. The whole industry has been paperless now for a while. So therefore, I haven't continually gotten prints of my headshot because those are always just emailed. However, all of a sudden, so I had like one left, and then I got a call 15 minutes before an audition saying, bring 2 copies of your headshot and 2 copies of your resume. And I felt like, hey, you can't just all of a sudden decide to change the rules of the industry. So to the person who completely missed my point, you are a moron. Go fuck yourself. Hey.
Go.
Fuck.
Yourself.
Nice. Does anyone need to tell anyone to fuck off? I just thought it would be cathartic for me. The reason Gary doesn't think I should do it is because obviously I spend too much time giving the haters power and reading the comments, and I care too much about it. Although I'm getting much better at it. I don't read it all anymore.
Listen,
But-
Tina Fey gave a whole chapter to it.
Yeah. Well, this is my chapter that I just gave to it. But anyway, I think Gary's concerned that it will encourage them, and I don't want to encourage them. I just want to tell a series of also the people who have to let me know every motherfucking time I interrupted Adam. First of all, it's not like it's the first time he's going to say whatever it was he was going to say. Second of all, I have just as much right to speak as any motherfucker on that motherfucking stage, you fucknut. And he was stepping on my news. Ever think about that? Hey, go fuck yourself. Anyone else?
Wow. That was intense.
That one had been building up for a
That
while.
one felt like it had been a little while coming.
Yeah, that was a long time coming. Maybe this is the last time we do the segment. Maybe I won't have anything left. I'd like to let you guys know I'm not usually this angry. I'm a delightful, gentle person. Except sometimes I get upset. What now? YouTube comments I find are some of the most vitriolic. I haven't seen your comments, but what kind of comments do you get?
They're pretty amazing. They're so descriptive and graphic and just mean. But okay, here's the thing. If a comment said "fuck you," I'd be like, okay, and move on.
Yeah, that's an easy one to take.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
But when a comment says, this is the one that always got to me. It was like, hey, why doesn't MTV just give this guy a pilot so it can fail? And I'm like, that's so real. That might happen. Like, things that they really, like, oh my God. Or, hey, I know this guy used to be fat, but he still looks fat. Like, things that they, know. They know my, career and weight.
weaknesses, yeah.
My 2 weaknesses. Just
Yeah.
like Chloe.
Yeah, no, I have.
So underappreciated. That was great.
Thank you,
I'm appreciating it. Yeah, I think my weaknesses, and that's the thing, is that I think both you and I have put our weaknesses out there. So if someone wants to be an asshole, they know exactly how to hone in on that. And here I'm going to share more. Mine is probably talking too much, because being on a show with Adam Carolla, there are people who only want to hear Adam. Adam's not one of them. Adam obviously hired me because he wants me to talk, and he's never ever asked me to talk less. If anything, in general, I should always be participating more. But my concerns, I think, and I sort of think this is a potentially just, it's more of a female in the public eye concern. My concerns are talking too much and weight. Dustin?
Well,
what are your concerns?
and let me say, an easy solve for either of these is not being in the public eye.
Yeah, no, no.
I will share with you a comment I got. I'm not going to give a full go fuck yourself to it, but because it would be towards my mom. That would be mean. But so it turns out that a lot of my parents' friends listened to Adam's podcast and then listened to your podcast that they heard me on, and then told my parents about it, and they relayed that we were doing the thing like the dating advice segment. Mm-hmm. And they told my mom that, and her comment was, "I don't know why he should be giving dating advice to anyone."
Oh yeah, yes. Someone forwarded me an email. Like one of your mom's friends sent an email to me where he included that your mom had said that. So that was sweet. Oh, Karen.
Go fuck yourself, Mom.
It's hey mom, go fuck yourself.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's all right. So Shane. Is it true that you lost 150 pounds?
Yeah.
That's insane and crazy, and congratulations, and how'd you do it? And tell me everything.
Well, I stopped eating so much. Shocker. And I started running on the treadmill. And I actually did, I hate to say this because I hate this company, but I did Jenny Craig, and I lost a lot of it from there. And then I started working at Jenny Craig, and I lost more of it. And then they fired me, so I hate them. But
they fired you for making a video, right?
Yeah. Well, I made a video at work, and they fired me and my mom, my brother, and like 6 other people that worked there.
Wow.
That's like mafia style retaliation. It's like not just you, but your whole family.
But the best part is somebody asked me about this, and I'm like, you know what? I was trying to like act all positive. I'm like, it was the best moment of my life because it made me focus on YouTube. And then somebody goes, but what about the other 6 people that got fired? And I'm like, I mean, I'm pretty sure half of them are dead now because they were very old. And the other half are, I'm sure they're fine.
Was everyone in the video? I mean,
yeah.
Okay, that's how they could take out all of you.
Yeah. I mean, it was
fell swoop.
Honestly, this is a conspiracy, but I think Valerie Bertinelli got me fired. Do you know who that is?
Do I?
Okay,
yes.
thank God.
One Day at a Time, and also Hot in Cleveland.
Is she? Oh, that's right. She's back.
Yeah, and she was married to Van Halen.
Ugh, and her kid's name is like Wolfie.
Wolfie, yeah.
Yikes.
Short for Wolfgang, or Wolfgang if you're German. But wait, is she the spokesperson for Jenny Craig?
She was at the time, and she
Okay.
wrote this book called Losing It, which I honestly think is a pretty good title. I'll give her that. And then the book was full of like all her crazy memories. It was an awesome book, but it was like chapter 5, Coke and what it did to me. And like every chapter started with, I was so high on Coke, I don't even know whose dick I was sucking. Like they were that intense. And we were supposed to give these books to all of our clients for free. And my clients were all 80 years old and over. Mm-hmm. So these 80-year-old women, and I was like, I should do a video where we all do readings from the book and have clients read and have my other consultants at Jenny Craig read. And it was amazing. I thought it was so funny. And I thought Valerie would have liked it. I don't think she did.
And you think she's the one who ordered the hit?
Well, because when they came down and fired us, I was like, "Come on, like I've lost so much weight and whatever. Like, why would you fire me?" And they were like, "We can't say who, but somebody very, very important asked specifically for you to be fired first, and then to fire everybody else that made fun of the book."
Wow.
I was like, "Well, who could it have been?" Valerie.
Oh, Valerie.
I know, bitch.
That's so.
We could have done readings from the book here in honor of the occasion.
I don't want to get fired. Who knows how far her tentacles reach?
God. Oh, watch out. She controls the world.
So, okay, deep question, but how do you think that affected you, having had such a different body before?
It made me have literally zero ego or confidence, which is a problem sometimes. But it also made me really open and funny and not really caring about what other people think of me or all the mean comments. I don't even care because I'm like, high school was worse than this. So I don't know. I think it was good.
See, for me, because I also used to be a lot heavier, and for some reason instead of making it so that now I am sort of immune to the comments, instead I feel like when I get negative comments, it's like, oh my God, it's happening again. That bullying or that name calling or that being seen a certain way, it's happening again. I don't know why that's how it feels, but it does.
Yeah, I mean, it still, like, it affects me if somebody now calls me fat. Like, it affects me, but I know on the inside I'm like, well, I used to be, like, huge. So, as long as I never get to that point again, I think I'll be fine.
Are you conscious of your weight all the time now, though? I mean, because you're really skinny.
Well, geez, thank you.
You're welcome.
But, yeah, no, I'm insane about it. Like, I can't, I'll gain weight so fucking fast that I can't even, like, look at the food that I love. I have to just eat chicken all day.
Do you count calories, or what do you do?
No, I just eat chicken all day. I go to the same restaurant every day, and I get chicken, and then I literally go there 3 times a day.
Do you want to say the name, or do you not do that? Because that would be endorsed. Maybe not. Maybe we won't say the name.
Well, I mean...
Is it crazy?
No, it's just, have you ever been to Hugo's?
Oh, no. Nah, you know what? I think I did an interview there a long time ago. So, yes, I have been there.
The best part of that place, though, is that every, like, C-list celebrity goes there. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. So every time, I go there 3 times a day, so I see at least 2 during the day. I saw the Kardashians there. Wow.
Which ones?
They're big. Not fat. They're big. They're, like, mammoth, huge people. They're all, like, 8 feet tall. You can't tell on TV, but they're fucking huge. All 3 of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known. I would think Courtney was little.
No. She has a big face. Like, she's not...
Okay, the big face thing, though. Let's talk about the big face thing, because I was recently staring at someone's big and moving face, and I was thinking, Botox. I feel like Botox is blowing people's faces up. Now, maybe they actually have a large face structure under all that puffiness that's paralyzed, but I feel like Botox is adding an extra level of, like, puff.
I think it's Coke.
Okay.
Don't like Lindsay Lohan on Saturday Night Live? She wasn't fat or anything, but her head was huge.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Amanda Bynes, like, that's Coke bloat. That's what I thought it was.
Maybe. I feel like Lindsay has had a lot of plastic surgery recently, though. And I feel like all those like Heidi Montag. Whatever happened to her?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh no, you go.
I had. This is like my only. Okay. How do I start? Okay, so basically, I wanted Heidi Montag in a video, and jokingly, I tweeted her, and I'm like, "Hey, let's do a video." And then she was like, "Let's meet for lunch," and I'm like, "Yes, please."
Tweet has its own voice, but I know what you mean. She did tweet in that voice,
God.
I'm sure.
So, my favorite tweet, by the way, backtracking, her tweet that day was, "Thank God it's Friday," and everybody wrote back, "You don't have a job." Anyways, so I met at this random Mexican restaurant in, like, the middle of Hollywood at, like, noon, which is, you know, way before I wake up, and it's her and Spencer, and they have, like, their own table, and they were getting, like, wasted at, like, noon.
Wow.
It was the best day of my life. They are amazing.
Yeah, what are they like in person? What's he like?
Really? Well, they were really, really nice. But there was a couple... I know, I hate that.
Yeah, it's too confusing.
There was a couple times, and I was like, whoa, these people are awesome. And then there's a couple moments where Spencer would be like... He'd be super nice, and then I was joking, and I talked in a British accent. And then he was like, whoa, you're not, like, British, right? And I'm like, no, why? And he's like... And Heidi's like... He really hates British people. Like, really, like, if he could kill them, he would. And, like, they both gave me this look, and I'm like, I'm not British. Oh my God, they're drunk, they're angry. But she didn't end up doing the video. It really made me mad.
Did you try to get her to?
Yeah, she said yes. She said yes in the room at the restaurant. She was like, totes, yeah, let's do the video. I'll do whatever you want. And then, like, never
Spencer's
responded.
Like, you are not working with that limey.
Oh.
Claiming that he's not one.
Oh my God. Amazing.
Wow. Okay, so back to the question of how long does it take you to do a whole video and then edit it and all that. People need to know.
Oh, I mean, it takes me like I don't know. It's always different. Like writing it and then actually filming it and then actually editing it. It's probably like a whole week.
Okay, yeah, because I ask because there's a lot of work that goes into them. Like they're very well done. And obviously something that's not just slapped together. So that's why I was wondering someone who actually does all that versus what I do, which is like, hey, you guys, I'm going to talk into the camera. Okay, I'm going to put it up now. The whole thing took me 10 minutes. Like yours they're little movies.
Yeah, I I set that bar of like, oh, I always have to make something narrative that has like nice camera work and whatever. And everything else on YouTube is, homemade and stuff. And I'm like, man, I wish I wouldn't have done this. The homemade stuff is so much easier. But I mean, it's fun. I like to make stuff that's a little different and feels a little more put together.
Mm-hmm. And how's the living at home?
Well, I bought a house because I was trying to kind of save money and all taxes and all that boring reasons. And I thought, it'll be fun. For the summer, this was last year, I'll live with my mom and my brother and the dogs and whatever. Now it's getting to a point where I'm like, yeah, I'm 23 and people think I'm a loser because I'm living with my mom. And it's getting a little, I kind of want to move out.
A little close for comfort.
A little too close.
Just like that show. That was before your time. And Dustin, I feel like you grew up in a house where you had Swedish block toys and no television.
I wasn't exactly like that, but I can't recall Too Close for Comfort.
And Gary, you're a child. Listeners, any listeners out there who know the show Too Close for Comfort, just be happy that I also know it. And
what was the theme
together
song?
We know it. I don't remember. You'd think I would. That's the kind of thing I would remember. But off the top of my head, I don't. I feel like it was cheesy and slow and kind of...
But I want to come back to 23 and living at home. That's honestly a reason for negative judgment? Because I'm 33 and like on the verge of being living at home again, and I don't even feel that bad about it because I feel like there's loads of people I know close to my age who are either there or close to there. Alison did her stint at home.
I did a tour at home
after moving to LA.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was like increasingly what happened. I would assume that 23-year-old people know lots of people living at home, and it's not a big deal.
I guess it's just a personal thing then. Or like a lot of comments like, geez, you still live with your mom, and I mean, it's like, yeah, but I bought the house myself.
Right.
Like, it's not like
You're more like one of these. Right. You're like one of these, like Miley Cyrus or
Yikes.
types. Well, she's not a good example, but you're like a young starlet who has invited your family to move in with you. You know what I mean?
Yes, I guess a young starlet.
You should make it clear that they moved
Like
in
Brittany
with
Murphy.
you.
Like, ooh.
Yes. I mean, yes.
Didn't turn out too well.
It didn't, but she was one like that.
How come everybody dies in a bathtub? This is a random side note. But she died in a bathtub, right?
Yeah,
Full
Whitney
of puke.
Houston.
Whitney Houston died in a bathtub.
Jim Morrison.
Died in a bathtub.
A lot of people.
Why?
I don't know, but it's a good thing I don't take baths. I feel like that's the take home, the takeaway from that. I don't know. Maybe if you're super messed up, the bathtub seems like a place to go.
Maybe it's a twisted, I don't want it to be too hard on my loved ones, like your death isn't going to be hard on them, but it's like, less muss and fuss if I'm in the bathtub already.
Oh, yuck.
I doubt
don't know
it.
if that's the reason, but you could see that going through someone's head.
But why would the bathtub be the place they would go?
Because it's all, whatever happens to them, it's all just contained there. Versus
Go
if
right
they-
down the drain.
If they flop down on the floor, they could, they could ruin the carpets.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be nice if your last thought was about cleanliness and not creating a
Ending
big
your
mess. Well, no, I feel like you sort of have a point because times where I felt like, I'm going to throw up or something bad's going to happen from some end, I do get myself to the bathroom because there you're covered. Because if you're going to throw up or you're going to have explosive diarrhea or God knows what, you can take care of it all right there. Bathroom is a great room for taking care of that.
Taking care of business.
Yeah,
Killing
from whatever
yourself.
end. There you go.
But these people didn't kill themselves, I don't think.
No.
I think Brittany Murphy vomited to death. Isn't that what they said? That's terrible. I shouldn't say
She
that.
OD'd.
But she
I don't know the specific. I don't recall the specifics,
Did I
but
make
I know
that up?
that.
I thought she was found in a bathtub of vomit. I love her,
mean-
by the way.
I don't think you could possibly vomit that much to fill the whole bathtub and drown yourself in. I mean, she couldn't have. Yeah.
I mean, at a certain
doesn't
point,
seem physically possible.
Yeah, I can speak to this a little bit. That sounds wrong, but at a certain point, it's not really vomit that's coming up anymore. It's just other fluids, and it's like foam, and just all sorts of yuck.
Well, they said she had food poisoning, and she was dehydrated and on drugs, and then she threw up and then choked on it. I know. I did a lot of research. I was very upset when she died.
Were you a fan of hers, like circa Clueless, or later stuff. Thin or chunky Brittany Murphy is really my question.
She's one of those people where I can't really name all the things she's been in. I just liked her. I think she was in that weird movie with Dakota Fanning.
Oh, yes, where
she was like a slutty nanny or something.
Yeah.
There was a pig in it.
It wasn't Uptown Girls,
Yes,
was it?
it was Uptown Girls.
I feel like I've seen that on a plane. Wait, okay, so you're into Brittany Murphy. Who else? Who else are the people you like?
Oh, who are dead?
No, alive. They can be alive. I just, if you don't have anyone off the top of your head, that's okay.
There's one person I kind of can't stand, and I feel like I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, but am I the only person that doesn't really get Emma Stone? Are you a fan?
I'm not. I don't have strong feelings either way about her.
All right. I got into a fight about this last night because somebody said she's like the best actress in a long, long time, and I'm like,
It just doesn't work
I
for
don't
you.
know. She's kind of funny.
Dustin, Emma Stone?
I'm pretty much a fan, but I could see coming to the opinion that she can be too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Dustin. She's okay, but I don't think she's... I would have started a fight with somebody if they said she was the best actress to come along in quite a while as well, because that's just... I don't think that's true.
Yeah, and the reason I like her isn't because of like her, amazing acting ability. Like she's the next Streep. She's just like, she seems cute and down to earth. Like she'd be fun to talk to.
I like her speech impediment.
How do we feel about Michelle Williams? I didn't love her on Dawson's Creek. Now, she's come a long way, as have I, and I generally like her in everything now, and I think she's a really good actress. But I feel like in interviews, she's so, like, just kind of, she looks like she hatched yesterday. Like, she's so just wide-eyed and soft-spoken. And that I want to, like, shake her and be like, come on.
See, here's my thing with her. I feel like she milked the whole Heath Ledger's death thing to look to, I mean, not deliberately necessarily, but to seem like this,
about that. I feel uncomfortable now.
Milked it.
Well, I mean, just she allowed this perception to form that she was this just,
Put upon
noble,
ingenue.
Yeah, just the most like decent and
like saintly kind of, yeah.
Yeah, that she just handled it with the utmost grace.
Dignity.
And I mean, mostly that's the type of thing that people want to say about you when your husband dies. So it's not necessarily her fault, but she didn't also like do anything to like cut against the grain of that. And so I think she created this expectation for herself in terms of her image that she couldn't possibly live up to, but I don't think she ever, I don't know what you would do to combat that, but I think she should have done something. And then I forget who it was, but there was news that she started dating someone recently that was like younger than her, or seemed kind of like, like the stupid, like
Rebound.
just like miscellaneous celebrity pairing. That definitely not like a noble partner. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Off the top of my head, no.
Anyway,
I want to say it's like Wilmer Valderrama, but it's not.
Right.
But someone on that order.
Yeah,
do you know?
on that
Is
level.
it Jason Segel?
Oh, Jason Segel. There we go.
Oh.
He's I
don't think he's no douche.
He's not a douche, but he's like just a random goofy like dude that like in celebrity circles.
She needs
you
to
might
laugh.
hook
Her
up with.
husband died. Moment of silence.
Okay, let's talk now.
Okay, but still, I mean, the point is like there's going to be a moment where she like doesn't,
Read to Matilda every night.
Right, exactly. Doesn't demonstrate like utmost nobility and sort of
That's when we turn on her.
regalness of manner, and then it's gonna suck. It's gonna be a hard downfall for her.
She might be retarded. Here's the thing. Like, I've seen, when I was 12, I saw an interview. I was obsessed with Nicole Kidman when I was young. I don't know why.
I can't believe there's anyone obsessed with Nicole Kidman.
I know, right? I think it was The Others or some movie she came out, and I'm like, she's the best actress ever, Mom. And then I saw her on The Tonight Show, and I stayed up to watch it, and she was fucking retarded. And she was like, like she had the wide eyes. She didn't know what she was saying. And then Jay would say something. She's like, oh, Jay. And she'd cover her mouth, and all his jokes were flying over her head. And that's when I came to the real...
stuck in her hair.
Not even a little bit. I think most actresses are retarded. So when I see them in interviews, Michelle Williams, I'm like, maybe she's just retarded.
Maybe. But I feel like you have to be sort of smart to be able to be an actress. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, because you're just like, you have to have no identity. Because, well,
Yes. No. I think you're onto something. Go with that.
okay, I mean, it sounds terrible, but like, I think it's easy to be an actor if you're dead inside, because you can be somebody else.
But I still think you have to be able to take words on the page and think, how do I make this sound like something that's coming out of a human? Or do you just think they have good direction?
I don't know. I mean, most have been
Maybe
doing it
it's
since
a
they were
skill.
kids.
Yeah.
So it's almost like riding a bike. It's like,
Right.
oh, yeah, I know how to do that. And then you give them a math book, and they're like, what?
But you're good at acting, and you don't seem dead inside.
I'm retarded.
Or are you acting like you're dead, like you're not dead inside?
I don't know. I don't think I'm an actor, because I only do stuff that I write. It's not like I'm
Right.
reading somebody else's lines, and I'd be terrible at that.
Okay. Then we won't cast you in our thing that hasn't been created yet. I think it is time to do Just Me or Everyone.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
All right, people have tweeted in their Just Me or Everyone's, or as Gary refers to them, JMOs, which I really like. And
like
if
that
you
too.
want to tweet the show, you can tweet at ARIYNBF, or you can tweet me at Alison Rosen. And you can tweet Shane Dawson at Shane Dawson TV, or just Shane Dawson?
Just Shane Dawson.
At Shane Dawson. And you can tweet Dustin, but he doesn't really read his Twitter, so don't. But you could throw out your
They
name.
can still do it.
Yeah, what is it?
Just don't be disappointed with the utter lack of response.
There's a ringing endorsement. Is it at Dustin Goot or at D Goot? It's
Dustin
at Dustin Goot. Okay. Alrighty. OMG Kitties says, Just Me or Everyone, imagining that a race car driver or CIA operative sees me on the freeway and thinks, wow, she can really drive. I love that.
I love that
don't
too.
actually do that, but I can very much relate to that. Mostly doing karaoke and thinking, wait till people get a load of these pipes, which aren't that good. What about you guys? Do you do the driving thing?
No, I'm a terrible driver.
Dustin, do you ever hope that someone sees you drive? And
Yeah, I
thinks,
mean,
wow.
I feel like, well, you've seen my car, so it would be weird for me to think that I'm like this CIA master spy in a '98 Sentra. I don't think the CIA's ever. They probably have used those in to be undercover in Eastern Europe. It probably isn't fancy cars because
Right.
you can't be undercover in cars like that. But
I feel like no one would steal your car because they'd think it's a trap.
But yeah, I mean, I have the occasional delusion of thinking I'm a more fantastic driver than I am.
What was it when we were waiting for the valet to bring our cars back after that party that you and Daniel and I went to, and he said what kind of car he has, and then you told the valet guy, you're like, it's the blue one that's kind of shitty, or something like that.
Yeah.
It was funny. Gary?
No, I can see where that comes from, but no. I don't want anyone to see me while I'm driving because chances are I'm speeding or I don't know.
Okay. J. Chilcote, VA. J. Chilcote, I'm sorry, Jay, says, is it just me or everyone when I see a striped sheets or comforter on a bed, they need to be vertical long ways, not horizontal? And then she put hashtag fat bed, which I think is hilarious. And by the way, I am always making the horizontal stripes making you look fatter jokes, and people are never laughing. Which is weird because I think they're hilarious. For example, Adam likes to talk about how the whole thing about if you come across a bear, you're supposed to make yourself as big as possible. That's how you get the bear to leave you alone. And yet, to a dude, he'll be like, I mean, what are you? Like, you're 178. Oh, you puff yourself up. What are you now, 185? And then I'll be like, plus 10 pounds if you're wearing horizontal stripes. Getting crickets on that one.
It's
Thank
because
you.
we used to be fat.
Yeah.
We get it.
I know. Maybe he just has thin. Maybe it's just people who've always been thin in the room. Those fucking ectomorphs or endomorphs or mesomorphs or whatever kind of morph makes you naturally run. Anyway, I don't do that with beds. But if the bed is up against the wall and the comforter is not centered on the bed, that bothers me. Because there's a way that you can make the bed so that it looks like the comforter is all in the right place on the bed, but really it's not going down on the wall side, and that really bothers me. Anyone? I'm delightful and
that's just
easygoing
you.
now. Yeah. No, I meant to address her, just me or everyone, but we could address mine as well.
Yours is easier to address because it's definitely just you.
Well, you live in a tiny box, so I assume your bed must be up against the wall.
It's
not to
it's
shit
not
on
against
Dustin's
the wall.
point, but it's not just you. I do that.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Gary. See, Gary and I both are sort of OCD.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe that
Thanks.
just means we're really weird.
I think it does.
Oh, well.
Do you make your bed every day?
I do.
I do too. It's the only thing that I
Me too.
do every day.
It's been like drilled into me. I can't not. I've tried to stop for a while, and eventually it just consumes my thoughts.
Huh.
Yeah.
For me, it hasn't been drilled into my head. It's just that it's an easy thing I can do to make me feel like my room looks a little bit neater because I'm certainly not going to do anything else.
That definitely is part of it too. It takes 3 seconds and it looks 10 times better.
And you know what else? I need to complain about water beds for a minute. Does anyone have them anymore?
I think they're illegal.
Oh, okay. Because there was a time where there were a lot of water beds, and as a child, I thought they were really neat. But then as a person who has slept in one once or twice, they're not neat at all, and it's hard to get out, and you get seasick.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had a reason to discuss this, but I had a waterbed from when I was like 6 until I went to college.
I'm so sorry.
And it's totally bizarre to think about now because no one has waterbeds anymore.
Right.
I feel like that should be a far more significant fact in my life than it actually is. I don't think it affected me really in any way, but maybe it did. We'll never know.
Was it hard for you to get your land legs on a regular bed?
I don't know. I mean,
You just went right from sea to land,
yeah.
like an amphibian sleeper.
But I do have a poor sense of balance. Maybe the waterbed I always thought it was just a genetic thing, but maybe it was the waterbed, like screwing up my inner ear all this time.
You know what you need if you have a poor sense of balance?
Fuck you again, Mom.
It's hey,
Even
fuck
though I
you.
think I asked for the waterbed, which is how it came.
When you were
about.
6?
Yeah, how
I
did
probably
how
saw
did
an
this
ad.
happen?
I don't know. It's that time in your life where you don't have like complete memory. I mean, not that you have complete memory of any time, but when there's only a few particular memories, and I have no clue where the waterbed thing. I just remember I had one, and
They don't. Do they make was it like a twin, like a small child? Do they make that? I thought waterbeds were only like huge.
Yeah, they're
Listen,
only sex party size.
yeah. Remember how old I am? This was the 70s weren't long dead when this happened. So
Wow.
But did you experience that thing I'm talking about where it's sort of difficult to get out because you get stuck? Like a turtle on its back?
yeah, but the waterbed shouldn't be that low. It means that you should. You need to like inflate it or whatever
Right.
you do. Put more water. I don't even remember all the sort of maintenance that you're supposed to do for it.
Changing the water.
But it should be. You shouldn't like sink heavily in the waterbed.
It's because I was Jane. It's because I was fat. That's why my fat ass anchored me onto the bottom of the waterbed. Have you noticed that when you sign a lease, it's always like no water-bearing instruments, no. Well, you didn't sign a lease because you own a house because you are a young starlet, but no waterbed.
I lived in 5 apartments before I got this.
Oh,
house.
okay. We have to sign that you don't have a waterbed.
Yeah.
I think because they could destroy a bunch of stuff with all their water. But speaking of balance, whoever said that, you said you had a poor sense of balance. That leads me right into this advertisement for a new sponsor, which I think you'll all enjoy. Flex Sport Watch. You know those rubber bracelets that people wear for balance that have the negative ion technology? Wouldn't it be cooler if it had a watch in it? I think so, because then when you looked at your wrist, you wouldn't just be like, oh, it's just that. You'd be able to say what time it is. And by the way, this is not really, it's part of the ad, but this is not, I think, what they would like to drive home. But I would just like to drive home that I'm firmly in the watch camp. And I'm noticing that you guys don't wear watches. Dustin, you do have a watch. I feel like too many people have gotten rid of their watches. And I went for a time just using my phone as a watch. However, it's just so much simpler if it's on your wrist and you don't have to get your phone out and then unlock the screen and whatnot. So here's a cool watch that is also something that helps you with strength, balance, and endurance. And it's only $12.95 and it comes in 4 cool colors. Flex Sport Watch. Get yours from my website. Go to my website and click the link or go directly to flexsportwatch.com. Accept no substitute. Flex Sport Watch. And if you want, get one. Any of the 4 colors or all of them, and then take a picture of yourself and then tweet it, and then I will look at that and give you a shout out. Okay, anyway, back to this. Who sex holds in a sneeze because she says, hold in sneeze until I'm alone so people won't hear me sneeze. I don't do that. I like to make other people suffer through my sneezes. I know that Gary does.
Yeah.
But you hold it till you're alone?
No, I don't do that, but I definitely sneeze differently if I'm around somebody. I will... If you're going to sneeze, you're going to sneeze. There's no holding it in my experience.
I thought you said you hold your nose or something.
No, that's...
Fred Armisen?
Yeah, that wasn't me.
That could kill you.
I can, silently
right?
sneeze, though. I can inaudibly sneeze. Where if you're looking at me, you will see something very, very funny happen because I'm trying to contain it, and it's like...
Oh, yeah, that was weird and funny.
That's what I do. So if I'm around people, I'll do that, trying not to be rude. But if I'm alone, I'll just,
let it fly. What about you guys? What's your sneeze habits?
I am the world's loudest sneezer in the world and loudest burper in the world. Like I'm such a fucking loud person, and sneezes, and I can't hold them back, and they're wet, and just yeah.
Yeah, the wetness I struggle with. I mean, obviously I do the best I can in public, but I mean, the sneeze is kind of an involuntary thing. Separately about this, I'm going to offer some dating advice, even though we've established I'm totally unqualified
According
to do that.
to your mom.
According to my mom. And I mean, probably just,
and most women.
Yeah, reasonable wisdom would say that. But I'm going to say that Whosex is not a good person to date, despite the sexy Twitter handle. Because this sounds like, I mean, if you're holding your sneezes until you're alone so that you don't want to, disturb people that you're with, this sounds like one of these people who's, constantly, suppressing things that, that they want to do to, make things more comfortable for you.
Yeah.
But then it builds and builds.
I think I dated that guy.
Yeah, towards this, resentment that they don't even, aren't even completely aware of until it just sort of erupts. And,
I've been holding in my sneezes and my farts for 3 years.
Right, exactly. Do you know all the... And I've been tucking the comforter over onto the wall side. Just how I don't care about that.
Right.
When I'm holding in your fart, do you do that, right?
Hold
all
in my
day at
farts?
work, you hold in your farts, and
Yeah.
by the end of the day, people are like, "Are you hungry?" Because your stomach is like, and you're like, "No, I'm fine, totes, I'm fine." And then you get to your car, and it's just like fucking, just the end of an inspirational movie, and there's music, and oh my god, loud.
That brings up two things. One, have you ever done this where you've tried to pass off a stomach gurgle as, oh, I must be hungry?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever been called on it, though? Because my boyfriend is usually like, someone's got to go to the bathroom. I'm like, no, it's the sexy thing where I'm hungry because I've been starving myself. It's not bathroom. I don't do that.
Is it sexy to be hungry, to have your stomach growling because you're hungry?
Well, isn't that sexier than have your stomach growling because you need to go?
Fair point.
Now,
Fair point.
the other thing is, and this is disgusting, but lately something weird has been happening to me, which is where I feel like the farts are just sneaking out. I'm not hearing anything, but I am noticing something. And it's when I'm alone. It hasn't happened in public, but I'll be sitting there. Maybe my defenses are down. I'm kind of relaxed, and I'm like, whoa.
Wait, sneaking out like you have not even perceived that something snuck out?
It's more like I didn't give permission for it to come out. I didn't sign off. I didn't say, hey, buddy, we're going to fart right now. I didn't sign off on it. It, of its own volition, snuck out of my body and then headed towards my nose. And it made no sound.
Wow.
I think it's just super potent. So it was just like a taste of what's to come.
I think it's very worrisome that you feel you don't have physical control over your ability to have this happen or not.
I hadn't looked at it that way. That's not quite what I'm saying.
No,
but it's also
I've had that.
not what I'm saying. Thank you.
I had it a little bit, but I more have it with not even pee, but randomly. If I really have been holding in my farts all day and kind of holding in my poop all day, if I don't want to do it in public,
right.
This is really weird. I don't know if any other guys feel this, but my dick starts to secrete.
Well, I have that.
You have. It's like this weird, uncontrollable, wetness, and it's not pee, and it's not the other, and it's very, very strange.
Dustin, is it sweat?
No,
can't.
It's
say
like some
that I've
kind of
experienced that.
Some kind of discharge.
It hurts my belly
seeping.
button.
There's a seeping happening. Gary?
No, me either.
All right. I'll get that checked.
It's okay though, because I admitted that sometimes I have trouble swallowing on this show, like when I think about it too hard, or like I just choke on air. And everyone here made me feel like I'm a big weirdo, which I am. But then a lot of people wrote in and said they too have this problem.
Yeah.
So I think people will let you know that they too have dick seepage.
You know, that one stuck with me like a lot. I've been taking pills a lot lately because I've been sick, and every time I do, I consider what it would be like for that to happen. And
If you couldn't.
I can't get my mind around it.
Well, you should be thankful.
I am. I feel.
That you don't
I feel
have that
fortunate.
weirdness
I feel
happening.
fortunate.
Okay. Let's see. If I'm about to meet up with a friend, I end phone calls with them so we can tell all the stories live instead of over the phone. Yes, I do that, but it's less like a save it for when we're together kind of thing than I don't want to be on the phone kind of thing. You guys?
Totally agree with you.
I haven't talked on the phone in like
You're my hero. How do you
It's
avoid? Aren't
horrible.
there people who will only communicate by phone with you?
ugh. I mean,
Who are those people? And I mean, I just feel like you should get them out of your life sooner than later. So
Well, by not talking to them on the phone, it's sort of a very passive way of doing that, actually. You're weeding them out.
I always say if they call, I ignore the call and then I text them back and say, "Hey, sorry, in a meeting, reading this under the table. What's going on?"
Oh, that's good.
And they're like, "It's Sunday at midnight."
yeah. But besides that, you write and edit your own videos in your own home. What meetings are you in?
Oh my god. No, that's my favorite thing. All the YouTubers tweet like, "Hey guys, busy in a meeting." Like all these YouTubers have meetings and I'm like, "What are we
Right.
in a meeting?" I met with my mom yesterday. It was very important. Couldn't take any calls.
Right. Do you talk on the phone, Dustin?
I mean, I will on occasion, mostly with my parents or people who are in New York. So
Right.
there isn't really another means.
What I don't like are the people, this makes me sound like such an asshole, who call you and leave voicemails. But then don't follow it up with any sort of text or anything to let you know what they called about. Because, and this is my problem. I recognize that I sound like a real asshole, and this is my, you know what? Hey, me, go fuck myself. Like the other day, Chris, who works here, called me, and I looked at my phone, and I was like, 562? Who's 562? And then 562 left a voicemail, and then I was going to listen to it, but I totally forgot, and then I got to the venue, and then Chris was like, hey, did you get my voicemail? I'm like, oh, fuck! Because that's what happens, is I completely forget to listen to the voicemails. So if there's information in a voicemail, that's not the best way to get it to me. But that's, I think, my problem.
So you want them to do both, like twice the work, like leave you voicemail and then text you what they said.
Maybe just don't even leave me the voicemail.
If you called me and left me a voicemail and then sent me a text message as well, that would piss me off.
Yeah.
Because I'm too retarded to check the voicemail?
I am.
I'm not, I know. And I realized as I was saying that I was
It's
feeding
okay.
into calling you retarded. But that's not...
Have I done that with you?
No.
Because
But
for me...
You don't call me.
Yeah, yeah.
Neither of us like to talk on the phone.
Right. If I ever did, though, sometimes I will follow. Yeah, no, this is interesting. Okay. Like one time I sent Mike Lynch an email, and no. I called him and left a voicemail, and then I sent him an email where I kind of said what I said in the voicemail, and then he's like, oh, so sorry I didn't have a chance to get back to you. And I was like, oh, there was no need for the apology, but it was... My sending the email was just sort of, why did I do that? I felt like it would just be easier than waiting for him to call back because I didn't want him to feel pressure to call back. I'm realizing that I'm really bad at communication.
I feel like that's a little different. The part that irked me about it before is that you're both are in the same place. It's a text message and a voicemail on your cell phone. Whereas the email is like a separate thing that doesn't...
Right.
It doesn't feel like you're calling me stupid. Somehow.
Yeah, but see, I'm never really calling a person stupid. I'm just saying, hey, don't go through all the trouble of listening to the voicemail. This is what I said.
It's 40 seconds. What trouble?
Takes me 3 hours to get to it.
Yeah,
if I ever do.
I'm with you there. For some reason, I hate checking voicemails now that there are texts. But the weird thing is that it's never occurred to me the incongruity between that and the fact that I still always leave voicemails for people. And I've noticed this thing happening too, which is that like two separate friends did this to me in the past week, I feel like, where I call and leave a voicemail and I get a text back from them, and it's always like, didn't listen to your voicemail, but hey, what's up? We should talk or something like that, you know? And it's like, it's friendly and whatever, but it's basically like announcing like, yeah, I'm not going to listen to what you said, but I'm going to be polite and acknowledge that you called me. And I mean, I would prefer to do that too. I think let's just, if we all just agree to abolish the voicemail, who's upset by that? Voicemails are so awkward and horrible. It's really one of the worst inventions ever.
I've never felt like after leaving a voicemail, I've never hung up and been like,
Nailed it.
I did. Yeah, nailed it. That was a good one, Shane. Good job.
Do you ever get stuck in the like, press 4 to listen, press 5 to re-record? You know, sometimes if you call someone who has that whole menu thing, you can erase what you just left, or you can listen to it. I've done that a few times.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, but then that could take the whole day.
My whole thing is like the I've left the voicemail essentially in 10 seconds because what do you really need to say? Hey, it's me. Call me back. But then it feels like I need to communicate more. So there's like 3 awkward sequence of pregnant pause where I can't think of what else I should be saying. And then I followed that by like an and then some other just random thing that I say because I feel like it fills out the voicemail. That's seriously like you could if you had a recording of every voicemail I've ever left, that's like the template that for like 80% of them. Hate the voicemail.
I end with okay, bye. Okay, bye. And also, I say what time I'm calling. That's something unnecessary.
I think it's very polite. Not all voicemails like give you the time or whatever.
Okay.
I always end the voicemail in like a crazy accent because I think it's going to make me look fun and free-spirited. And then I think about it, and then they call me later and they're like, yo, I didn't understand what you said at the end of that. It sounded like you were speaking in some weird accent. I'm like, oh, no.
Like what? I feel like we're going to
Like I'll be like, hey, yeah, just calling to let you know I'm going to be a little late for the podcast. Okay, well, see you later, boy. And then, because I think it's like, oh, that's fun.
It is. It's breezy.
Nope.
All right. Jess Loya says, I always feel awkward holding a broom. I don't feel super comfortable holding one, but I don't know if I would say I feel awkward. Anyone? Do you sweep?
What's a broom?
I used to dance with. Did you do that?
I have a
Dance
video
with the
of
broom.
me like doing a whole dance with my vacuum.
Yeah, the broom guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a manlier way to go. I like did salsa and like waltz, but it was usually the mop, and I usually tussle the hair, and it was a whole thing.
Okay. Does anyone have a mop anymore, or is it all Swiffer sweeper
I don't
and
have
Swiffer
one.
wet jet?
I don't think my family ever owned a mop growing up, really.
They're kind of gross.
They're fucking
Yeah.
gross, and people wring them
really
out in the
gross.
sink, and there's like
Blech.
hair and.
Bleh. No. Okay, I'm Rare Lion says, I hate when someone places ripe bananas next to bread on a countertop. Then you eat the bread, it tastes like bananas. I've never had that experience.
First of all, that sounds delightful. I love
Yeah, it actually does sound good.
So, no. Just
Right.
you.
Is
Just
the
you.
bread open? I'm so confused.
I'm a little lost, too.
Yeah. How is the bread soaking up the banana scent?
It's like bread aromatherapy.
It is. All right, we think that's just you. The Unburp says, I think when I'm going away, I should leave a will or note in case I don't make it back alive, but I never do.
Where
every
is the
day.
under P going?
Yeah. Well, every now and then I think I should do those grown-up-y things, like have a will. I don't know if I specifically think of that one, or like get some kind of insurance on something, but then I don't. But I'm not really in a position where I need to do any of that, I don't think. Like, what am I going to will someone?
I don't think they're even talking about like. I think they're Are they talking about every time you leave the house?
I think they mean when they're going out of town.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that. But we've already established the most dangerous places at home in your own bathtub.
Yeah.
So you
You
should
should have the wet...
You should be doing a will before you take a bath.
Right.
You should make sure
Water-
that thing's updated.
Yeah,
It's like,
waterproof
my new bath
situation.
beads I leave to the cat. And
Right.
I just got the funniest visual in my head of News Mom, like, somberly coming to me with the soda stream and being like, Alex would have wanted you to have this.
It's true. All right. I love to type the start of a Google search and see what others search for. This photo is an example. Oh, and she sent a photo. She had written the word "is," and then Google had filled in all the rest. And this is Amy R. Christensen. I like how Google will offer up the rest of the sentence. I don't spend a lot of time doing that, but I can relate to it. You guys?
It's probably one of my favorite pastimes.
Just typing in just a word or like a name?
Or even like if I type in, not that I Google myself all the time, but if I type in Shane Dawson is, like the top results are like dead, gay, an asshole, horrible. Like it's really funny. You could insert any name there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I've definitely gotten caught up and spent 15 minutes doing this before. It's not something I do frequently, and it's not. But one thing I will say is I love that service because it's really useful.
It's kind of like the more useful autocorrect.
Yes, and it'll help you if you can't spell, which I can't.
Or if you type in "why does my," and then all the people have searched like "why does my poop smell like?" Like it's all these insane questions that people are really asking.
Yeah, somebody revealed at a Digital Hollywood panel that we were at that you can drive that. So Eddie Ifft has a podcast, and his co-host drove them. So now if you put in Eddie Ifft into Google, the first one that comes up is has AIDS.
Wait, how do you do it?
It's based on the number of people who do it. So if you
search it over and over,
command the listeners to search, Adam Carolla can read or something, and it would eventually. Well,
wow.
Yeah, that was lame, but
no, I liked it. It was nice. But now I'm drunk with power. Let's talk about Super Love for a second. This is your single. Is this your first musical single that you've released?
Yeah. Well, I was doing a lot of like parody songs with all of my different characters, and then I thought, hey, you know what? I've never done an original, and I've never actually sold anything on iTunes before. And I've never made a real music video. Fuck it. Why not? So I did.
And I was surprised when I first saw it, the video, and heard the song. It's really good, but it's earnest. It's not parody.
Yeah, well, it started out as a joke song, and I still sang it as a character because I was nervous to try to go full out and actually try to sing it. And then in the studio, I was with these producers who were really good, and I was like, you know what? The beat is really good. Fuck it, let's try to make a real song. And then I thought the video can be funny, Mm-hmm. The song can stand alone, hopefully.
And what is the song about?
The song is about wishing that you had superpowers to, get things you wanted. And then in reality, you realize you didn't really need superpowers. And you can be yourself.
Oh, and in the video, it's like the wishing that you could be able to save people in school who need saving, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's like the song is a upbeat pop song, but the video starts with these two kids who are like
and one
abused.
of them has bruises all over their arms.
It's like tackling the tough issues on YouTube. It's like this
it's a
girl
very
who's like,
special episode.
Yeah, who's like, my daddy beats me, and then it cuts to a pop song. But no, it's about a girl who keeps letting herself get abused, and my character is like, come on, I can save you. You should be with somebody better. And he gets her in the end.
It's so sweet. It really is very, very moving and very sincere. I mean, is that something that you feel? Like, do you wish you could save people?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I dealt with a lot of abuse as a kid, and so that was definitely something I wanted to tap into or talk about. But also, a lot of these kids that watch me are dealing with bullies, or they're dealing with abuse, or they're dealing with feeling like they're not enough. So I thought, oh, what if I make a song about that and have the guy win in the end, and maybe give these kids some hope? And they actually really liked it, so I'm excited.
Oh, bullying is something I think about a lot, and a topic that I care about. And Adam has a view of bullying, which is that, I'm trying to think how to best sort of, he feels like everyone in all facets of life, there's always someone who's bullying someone. Mm-hmm. And there's always a stronger person and a weaker person. And that I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he feels that as a society we spend too much time like sort of wringing our hands over bullying. And I don't agree with that, because I think that bullying is such a destructive force, and it is so, like, to me, bullying is not just one person making fun of another. It's people ganging up on someone. Mm-hmm. What do you think? I mean, do you think it's a real issue?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I would have to say I only had, fortunately, like isolated brushes, but I mean, it feels horrible, and yet, like there's just no more helpless feeling. And I agree, it's never an individual thing. It's when you feel that no one's in your corner that like it's a powerful thing.
The sad thing that is really that it's never going to go away because it's like it's a cycle. It's like, you know, the bully was either bullied by his parents or bullied by somebody else, and then that person was bullied by somebody else. So it's like you can't stop something that has so much, you know, roots.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's such an innate kind of primitive thing, I guess.
So it sucks.
It does suck. But I do think that people who do feel alone or feel helpless or isolated can find some solace online, you know, in your videos or in just finding something that mirrors their experience. So we should all pat ourselves on the back. Okay. And a way to do that would be to read an iTunes comment of the week.
Alison Rosen brings you the best iTunes comments of the week.
All right, so this week for the iTunes comment of the week, it is from Girl Gone Rural, which I really like that name.
Rural is kind of like horror in terms of hard things to say, but Gary pulled it off.
And the topic is, Allison, don't listen to all the negative! Exclamation point.
Thank you.
You do not sound at all, and that's in all caps, smug or ironic in quotes.
Thank you.
Your tone is always earnest and sincere, and if anything, you are self-editing. I so value your honest and uninhibited approach to talking about your past relationships. That stuff can be hard to say out loud, much less to total strangers. Though it is oftentimes easier to be vulnerable to the people who don't have access to you. I've really enjoyed the podcast so far, and especially like the length. It's something I like about Adam's show as well. I've become dependent on my iPod to do anything, dishes, laundry, driving, etc., and it's annoying to have to select a new one every 20 minutes. I was going to tell you about a Just Me or Everyone that I also do, but can't remember what it was. I'll get back to you. Don't rosinate on the negative reviews, and you have an audience, and we like you just the way you are. Is it just me, or are you tempted to correct Adam's grammar?
Thank you very much, Girl Gone Rural. And I know it sounds like I wrote that myself, but I did not. I really feel understood by her.
No, in fact, when you go to iTunes to leave your own comment, you can find this one.
Thank you. That's right. Yes, and please, there's 5 stars. Use them all. I know you might be thinking, I'm going to hold one back. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just fucking let go with yourself and your stars.
Don't let the 5th star feel neglected or,
That's right.
or bullied by the other stars for not being
Shane,
selected as often.
The way he read that out loud was like that kid in like middle school who's like, I'm going to show all these motherfuckers what it's like. Like, I'm going to show them how you really read out loud. He had like so much, like, he was like acting it out. And there's like expression.
I like that.
Last time
good.
we did this show, I was very ill, and I was lackluster at best in the iTunes comment of the week department.
I'm not gonna disagree with him.
I wasn't gonna fall flat on my face twice.
No, it's good. Slow clap.
I liked it. Oh yeah.
Thank you.
I liked it, Gary. Shane, how do you feel about soliciting high ratings and stars and things like that? Because I kind of feel like a douche doing it, which is why I make Gary do it.
No, you're not. This show is free. Like, you're not asking them for anything except for to listen and to leave you nice comments.
Oh, thanks.
They
You're
should.
right. You're right. I'm also asking them to click through my Amazon banner on my website at AlisonRosen.com. You're going to buy something on Amazon anyway, so why not help out the show by clicking through my site? Okay. Oh, wait, there was something I was going to say. Oh, yeah, emails. Do we have emails?
We do have emails.
Okay, and if you would like to email the show, it's ARIYMBF, that's Alison Rosen is your new best friend, at adamcarolla.com. Okay.
All right, this first one. Okay, I live in Minneapolis and have a bit of a train ride home to bang out this email. I'm listening to Pete's You Made It Weird right now, and I want to thank you for that. I heard him on your show and really dug it. Also, Gary, I love your quips. You just don't have a vag, so I'll direct this at Allison. In the Hungry Girl app... In the Hungry Girl app, I really identified with you guys on the matter of one-night stands. Well, mainly the ladies. I just want to stand up for the guys that find themselves buried in feelings after the smallest amount of intimacy. I don't know what separates me from guys that can callously keep someone at arm's length, but I wanted you to know something. I went through another horrible breakup, and your show has helped me figure some things out. Thanks for what you do. I'd love to call in sometime to the show as well. Just know that you guys help people. So just continue to be nice, continue to ignore the haters, and keep talking about issues that really matter. And then it says, sent from the moon, kidding my iPhone. Matt.
Thank you, Matt. So we were talking about one night. We've just sort of an ongoing discussion of one night stands on the show. And my general take is that I think they're a bad idea, especially for women, because no matter what, you are going to end up emotionally involved. And I don't think I know any women where that doesn't happen. And if it does, then congratulations, you've made yourself dead inside.
I know one woman who she's not a friend or anything. She's a friend of a friend. And she is a total opposite. That's all she wants to do. She actually had sex right after she had an abortion, and she had sex in a sink.
In a sink?
I don't know why I brought that up.
That just sounds uncomfortable. Well,
I mean,
okay,
she said
because
it was easy cleanup, like the killing yourself thing.
Oh my gosh. She should try the bathtub, unless she's a very petite woman. So she just wants to have casual sex and she doesn't get emotionally involved.
Yeah, I mean,
she said that sounds like she's working through some kind of or not working through. She's working from an area of intense dysfunction.
Something.
Yeah.
You know?
See, that's sad. And how do men react to her?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're all like crackheads, so I'm sure they don't care.
Okay. Well, that proves my point. That one night stands are great if you're super messed up.
Yeah, exactly.
Dustin, what's your... Oh, well, so anyway, so this guy's writing in, though, and saying... Because I guess what I usually say is that I do think that men, for the most part, are able to pull it off, though. Which is a shame, though, because then who are they having sex with? They're having sex with people who can't pull it off. But this guy's saying that, no, he gets emotionally attached. So there's that.
Yeah, I think there are guys that are like that. I mean, and I think, it's not like... men are not ever emotionally attached when they're having sex. I'm sure that's not the direction the conversation went. But, yeah, I think...
No, it is. We hate men on this show. That's kind of what it's about.
That's awesome. But, yeah, I think most men can compartmentalize on occasion, whereas with women it is not how they're wired.
I think if you're the kind of guy, though, who does get emotionally invested after you hook up with someone, then that would potentially make it easier, because then you don't find yourself in the situation that our Gary has found himself in, which is having a woman yell at him, even though he made it clear that it was just physical, and she apparently knew that, but then she was upset, and it was like, but how could you sleep with me and not have feelings for me?
Yeah, pre-qualifying it doesn't prevent that stuff.
That I have learned.
I mean, honestly, if a girl touches my hand, I'm emotionally invested. If a girl, doesn't think I'm gay, I'm emotionally invested.
Really?
Yeah, because everybody sees my videos, so they just assume I'm gay. So if a girl's like, oh, and they don't think I'm gay, then it's like instantly I'm like, I'm in love with you.
I used to be like that, actually. I used to feel like all someone has to do is just pay attention to me, and I will like them.
Yep.
Made me super discerning. But, okay, see, I was a late bloomer. Where were you guys in the blooming?
I mean, I don't even bloom. Like, what do you...
I just mean, I did everything very late. I got into relationships late. I had experienced physical intimacy late. All of that stuff. So I think that at the point where, if you spent your high school years dating and getting some of those lessons under your belt, then by the time you're in your early 20s, you might start to think about what are the qualities that you're looking for in like a real relationship and all those things. Whereas I was learning about all of that maybe like 5 or 6 years behind everyone else. So I was making really, really poor decisions into my, in my 20s.
Yeah, my first...
And my 30s, actually.
Yeah. Same with me. My first relationship was like 2 years ago. That was 21 or something. Like, I had never been with anybody. I mean, I was like, not that being fat means you can't have a relationship, but
It's a pretty good buffer. It's a pretty good, I found. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Topic sombrero. We have a song. This is a Trap Dog song.
It's the topic sombrero. We asked for topics and you sent them in. It's the topic sombrero. Now pick a topic and let's begin. It's the topic sombrero.
Just phase.
Now, normally we pull a topic out of the sombrero, but someone emailed in a topic which I think we should do. Do you think some men are really intimidated by educated, strong women, or is that just an excuse we tell ourselves when men aren't into us? I have a ton of single girlfriends who are crazy good catches, but no one is biting, and it is very mysterious to me. They have advanced degrees, great careers, interesting hobbies, and are no more wacky than your average Jane. What gives? Care to tackle that one, you guys?
Sure, why not? I'll jump on that mine. I don't think
Throw yourself on it.
Gary's nodding enthusiastically because all the men are like, I don't want to comment on that. I don't think that men have a problem at all with educated, strong women, but I do think that men have a problem with educated, strong women who feel the need to throw their education and strength, etc., at you constantly and assert it. It's if you're educated and strong, that stuff will all come through and be appreciated, and but like you don't always have to lead with that. I mean, the truth is that there are there is a certain, there are ladylike qualities that, broadly speaking, most men enjoy. And, I mean, a woman that's more sort of, forward and aggressive, I would say the average man isn't going for that. I mean, but I think that probably the same portion of women who have that in their personality, there's the same portion of men who are more passive and enjoy that. So I think in the end it probably works out, But if you're one of those types of women, then, you're probably most of the men that you meet, you end up frustrated by because they're looking for like a softer, more sort of traditional personality. And, so I mean, it sucks if you're not that way because you don't want to say like be someone different than who you are. But it's probably true that it's harder. But it's not related to, I just want to emphasize, not related to like strength or education. We want you to be dumb and and skinny, and that's it. It's just it's more sort of like how you present yourself.
When you mean lead with education and strength, are you talking about like a ball busting kind of woman,
or just a woman who, like, in the first conversation with her, it's clear that it's her goal in every single comment to show you how goddamn smart she is. And like, I don't think that necessarily that's the most winning quality in men either, but I think men can get away with that a lot more easily than a woman can.
What if she's showing you how clever she is? Clever and funny. It's a weird intensity in my voice. I'm just going to back away from the microphone.
I just think there's here's the thing, this girl, I'm sure her friends are great catches, but this girl doesn't know what her friends are like on a date.
Right.
Like, I'm sure if she saw how her friends were on a date, they're probably really annoying. I know I'm really annoying on a date. I'm horrible. I'm the worst. Like, any girl would know that. So, you never know. They're probably annoying.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I've talked about that on this show before. I did not know how to date at all. I grew up in a time where it's like, oh, women can ask men out. If you like someone, you should ask them out. And so I didn't know what I was doing, and the idea of there's sort of a role that a man takes and of the role that the woman takes in terms of dating was very like anathema and kind of insulting to me at the beginning. Well, I remember I read that book, The Rules, and I was horrified because I realized what if this is true and I've been doing it all wrong? And I think that book is kind of evil. But I do think there is something to letting yourself be pursued. And that's kind of like that he's just not that into you and all that stuff too. It's like you can really tell you're not getting the signs from him that he likes you, but you can really convince yourself he still does. And that is just a waste of time.
Yeah. And I feel like it kind of goes back to when, back in the times when you were rosenating about relationships a lot. And
Shane might not know this. Rosenating is my friend's term for when I overthink something. I think the hell out of something and just circle and circle. Yes.
And I said, you just need to be able to flirt. And you were like, what is that?
Oh, yeah, I still feel that way. When people, I went on an audition once and the guy's like, that was great. Could you do it a little more sexy this time? And so then cut to, after I do it again, he's like, okay, you just lowered your voice. could you do it a little more sexy? And so then that started this whole, like, I don't know what that means. I really
awesome.
don't.
I feel like that should be an SNL skit of like a woman who is just like trying all these, weird voices to be sexy. But
Download some apps on your phone. It was about phone apps. Audition, I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, but coming back to this woman's friend, to flirt for a woman is like implies, you're going to be a little like coy and pixie-ish and whatever. And like for some women, if that's like doesn't come natural to them, that may feel sort of annoying or that they're, sort of violating who they are. Or whatever.
It just feels awkward.
But I mean, realistically, like that's what flirtation is for most guys. And so if these, if this woman's friends are like out on a date, like Shane's saying, and they're like, I don't need to flirt. I'm smart and I'm powerful. You flirt with me, goddammit. And it's like, that's probably not going to work out very well.
Well, I think flirting, what is it? It's attention without intention. Right? I've heard that.
Very wise.
I heard that from someone. Maybe it was Susie Orman. Not really. Suze or Susie, I don't know. But yeah, and I remember actually when I was having my whole like, I don't know how to flirt thing, you said, it's what you do on your Ustream show. Think about the way you pay attention to the viewers. Like you're still holding something back, but you're being friendly. And so then I just stopped dating entirely. Not really.
Or you only date mediated by a microphone.
Exactly.
Or a camera or something safe.
That's right. Gary, do you have anything to add?
I liked what Dustin said. I feel this is a dangerous area.
See,
Yeah.
no one else wants to jump on the mine.
Okay. Are you worrying about pissing me off? Because you're not going to.
No, are you kidding me? We're long since past that. No, I think what Dustin said was very right, and I think that along the lines of what they were saying, just to say it in a different way, is there's a difference between being smart, which frankly we wouldn't be on the date if I didn't think you were a certain level of smart, and then there's I have to show you
the competitive
exactly how smart I am and what degrees I have, and they will come up in the first 5 minutes of conversation, no matter how I have to shoehorn them in there. And fuck that. Just no, thank you. If you feel that you need to display your credentials to me in the first 5 minutes of our first date, you got some priorities that are a little off. Because I'm not doing that either.
Right.
So,
But then what do you talk about? See, I don't understand dates. Do you talk about, like, the weather?
I don't know what to talk about either, but I just feel like I'm remembering instances in my mind where the conversation is headed in one direction that's, pop culture or music or movies or whatever, and then somebody made, like, a hard left turn around, like, well, when I got my master's in 2008, and it's just like, wait a second, what? No, that doesn't fit here.
I think that person had Asperger's, and
Yeah.
I think...
Well, I know you're joking, but I do think that is kind of what we're discussing, which is...
Asperger's.
Yeah, Asperger's. No, someone who's not really reading the situation correctly and not relating to the other person and is instead just sort of showboating.
Maybe she was writing from a special high school where everyone has Asperger's. That's when we've really gotten to the bottom of the situation. My friends are all smart. They can recite the entire Declaration of Independence.
Why can't they get dates?
I hope we haven't offended the Asperger community.
They can't. That's their thing, right?
They don't get offended, do they?
No, they have no emotion or something, right?
Okay.
Well,
that's
know.
convenient then. All right. I feel like maybe we've helped her. Maybe we haven't. If we haven't, she could let us know nicely. And if we have, also let us know. But yeah.
Keep sending in your topic sombrero submissions.
Yes, please do. And just to punctuate that with something not helpful, dating. Ugh. I mean, I am actually in a relationship and I'm happy right now, but my memories of dating are that, man, what a minefield and a mind fuck. Okay.
No one's disagreeing with you.
I know.
I've only been on 2 dates. Well, I had a date, and then that turned into a year-long relationship, and then I had another date after that, and then it's been like a 5-month relationship. Like, I've never had, like, the dating experience.
Are you in a relationship now?
Mm-hmm.
The 5-month date one?
Yeah.
And how did that first date go?
It was good, but we didn't even know it was a date, Well, she said she did. I didn't.
Is she a fellow personality?
Yeah, she has a
Someone-
YouTube channel. She's been in some of my videos. Her name is Lisa. And I don't know, I just thought that she was just my friend. And then when she made the move, I'm like, really? It was literally 30 minutes of me going, are you sure? Really? like honestly. So.
Well, this is another thing we talk about on the show a lot, whether people know that other people like them or not. Because some people say that it's the whole thing of like, if you like someone, should you tell them? And I always feel like by the time you tell them, they probably already knew. But then everyone's like, no, some people are very clueless. But this all happened very fast for you, it sounds like.
I mean, I had known her for like 2 years. And
okay.
I didn't know.
There you go.
Well, regardless of whether they know or don't know, you should never tell. Let's just clear up this discussion right here once and for all.
I have to say, a lot of people disagree
Never.
with you.
Well, I'm happy to talk to those people. You should just make the move.
I see. Okay.
There's no good from verbalizing it. Zero.
Are you talking about saying like, I'm going to kiss you now?
Well, you definitely shouldn't do that. I think we can all agree. But even just like, hey, I really, it's like you express that physically. I mean, if you're talking about like attraction and and dating and whatever, that's
unless you used to be fat. Whereas then you constantly are waiting for rejection.
Yeah,
so
and looking for it even.
You're looking for it. You
needing
don't do
reassurance
anything.
that it's not there. Yeah.
But that's something you're doing for you. That's not for the other person. Like the other person isn't like doesn't like that you're giving them sort of like the soft pitch.
But sometimes people who used to be fat are narcissists, and it's insecurity.
Yeah, it's
No,
it's
I mean,
horrible.
we're
I'm
not.
not saying
I'm
it's
just
easy.
saying.
I'm just saying that that's always
Yeah.
what you should do.
And I'm just saying that sometimes insecurity can become so pronounced that it actually makes you self-absorbed.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like when fat people, not to keep bringing up fat people, but when fat people are constantly being like when you're like, God, it's a big world, isn't it? And they'll be like, it's big when I'm in it because I'm big. Like those people to me are just like waiting for you to be like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You're fine. Like that annoys me.
Yeah. Yeah. One time my boyfriend and I got into an elevator in Las Vegas, like the one time we went away. And I got into the elevator and I'm sure he could tell instantly, like it was a whole mirrored elevator and my face changed and I said, are these mirrors accurate? Because I'm always second guessing mirrors. Because, some mirrors, like if I look thin, then I'm like, oh, it's a distorted mirror. If I look super fat, then I'm like, then I do that thing with my hand where I put it horizontal and then I put it vertical to see if my hand is distorted, to see if the mirror is distorted. So anyway, I just started like kind of flipping out like wordlessly. And then he said to me, please don't do this right now. And the weird thing is that instead of getting huffy or upset by that, which I think I would have in the past, especially if it had been someone in my family, instead it actually just instantly snapped me out. Sort of like Cesar Millan giving a dog a correction. It's like he just went like, or sprayed me with water, and I just kind of snapped out of it because I realized it was unfair to him for me to waste our time going down that spiral.
But sometimes mirrors are distorted.
Yes!
Target. I'm making a rumor, but Target has distorted mirrors and all their sizes. Like their small is huge. Because they want you to buy more shit. They want you to feel good about yourself. That's the only place I shop at. And the mirrors are great. Like they're really slimming and they're all like, really vertical. So everything looks skinnier. Yeah.
I've got to go there and go shopping.
Wouldn't that be hard that would have to be calibrated for a certain height. Like what if you weren't the height for like the slimmingness that they're doing? It would just look like your shoulders were
everyone there, a lot of people there are like 5'4", 190.
No, I mean if they're doing that, they would have had to have done it for like the average, whatever that is. But it would be weird if you're not the average and you're like, why are my hips so tiny? Like, what happened? Am I not getting enough calcium?
Those people don't shop at Target.
True. All right. So Shane Dawson, do you want to plug anything or tell people where they can go find you? Or tell people about things that are coming up?
Yeah, my YouTube channel is just Shane Dawson TV, and that's videos every Saturday. And then I do daily videos on my Shane channel. It's just youtube.com/Shane.
Okay, and at Twitter, you're at Shane Dawson, and they can get Super Love, the wonderful song we were talking about, on iTunes.
On iTunes now.
Okay, and go to AlisonRosen.com for just all stuff about this podcast and about me, and UCB show May 24th with guests Garfunkel and Oates, and there's a Facebook page for me and a Facebook page for the show, and you can follow me on Twitter at Alison Rosen. You can follow the show at ARIYNBF. You can write to the show It's occurring to me that I'm like regurgitating so much, and yet probably no one is really listening to this part. So I'm going to make it more impassioned. ARIYNBF@adamcarolla.com. And please leave iTunes comments and give them 5 stars if you think the show deserves it. And even if you don't, what's the harm? And thank you, Trap Dog, for the music. And thank you, Kazilla, for the logo. And thank you, Gary, for the production.
You're welcome. Thank you
you
for the hosting.
Oh, I love this new weird thank you thing we're doing. It's like the antidote to, hey, go fuck yourself.
My stomach just growled, and I'm not hungry.
Okay.
Been holding in this fart for so. Let it out? No, I won't.
I mean, I don't know. What on a scale of 0 to 10? What are we talking
my
about?
My car is going to be bumping on the way home.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. And Dustin, anything you want to say?
No, you can tweet at Dustin Goot to be totally disappointed by the lack of response.
All right, bye, you guys. I love you. Bye.
Hey, do you know Alison Rosen show? We had a good time. Now we gotta go. Thank you for watching Alison Rosen show. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. That's right. And those good times don't seem to end. That's right. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Hey, do you know Alison Rosen show? We had a good time. Now it's time to go. Hope to see you next time on the Alison Rosen show. Alison Rosen is your new best friend.
You're listening to the Ace Broadcasting Network.